Hi friends, today I thought of coming up with altogether a different topic as I was facing different questions on how to start the career into the cloud space. I saw a few emails and few comments. This video is going to be the answer for all those type of questions. Let me start with one particular career path. I will come up with some subsequent videos for other career paths as well. So let us start our today's topic, how to build a career. So it's $1 million question for many people who are starting their career into the cloud. So I have taken 4 different categories: non-IT, non-technical guy. He is totally from outside the stream of the technology. Also from out of the industry, then within IT but switch from legacy technology to the latest one, maybe some other administrator like Jira or maybe somewhere in the SQL, they want to switch the career to the cloud. So these are the 4 categories I have taken. I'm sure you will be falling in one of this category. Even if you have some gap, maybe 3-4 years gap after your education or more than that, you can consider as non-IT or non-technical guy category. So for all this type of people, the smoothest path and easiest path compared to any other career path is cloud administration. As per my experience, maybe different people have different experiences and different suggestions, but if you don't want to really do a lot of hard work by understanding unknown technologies and unknown terminologies, this is the best way. Because if you choose DevOps, there are plenty of things you need to know on the technology stack side. Jenkins, Bamboo, Azure DevOps, AWS DevOps. So there are plenty of things you need to understand and learn. But cloud administration is far better than compared to any other career paths, at least to make an entry into the cloud space or IT world space. Okay, you may wonder, like, if I just become cloud administrator, how much I will gain? So definitely everybody look for the good compensation, but you will not disappoint though you get Azure administrator or GCP or cloud administrator. So for the entry levels, I'm not defining these values. I'm taking these values from the Glassdoor. At the same time, from my experience, I'm giving these numbers. It's not like, I'm building these numbers in the air. If you want to become an entry level administrator, you don't have enough confidence levels, but you are happy to go as an entry level. So you can choose that entry level administrator type of positions where you get 3.5 lakhs to 6 lakhs. I'm giving both in US and India. I don't have data for entry level administrator for the US. That is the reason I'm only addressing 3.5 lakhs to 6 lakhs, which is the Indian salary for the entry level administrator. Next level, experienced administrator who may have like 5 to 12 years of experience. Don't underestimate the salary of those persons, as we are saying administrator, right? Don't underestimate. 6 lakhs to 22 lakhs salaries I have seen based on the type of company you are working. There are few companies who pay like 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs, even 11 lakhs. I have seen people working in TCS with 11 lakhs on the administration. Even Wipro, TCS, all these companies were giving like 6 to 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs. Whereas few companies like Microsoft, AWS, they even pay up to 22 lakhs based on the capability you have on the administration side. So the next one, in the US salary, it can be 70k to 120k based on your experience and type of skills you have already gained. There are again, variance in the administration based on the type of skill set you have within the administration and the requirement match. You may get paid 70k to 120k dollars in US. Coming to the cloud, L1 and L2 support. So many people are not aware what is this L1 and L2 support. So in every organization, if the application is deployed to the cloud, there must be some kind of team who supports on 24/7. So based on the shifts, there will be 2 or 3 shifts where L1 L2 teams work. A few outsourced companies take all this server maintenance and they provide L1 L2. So based on the data I have, and even Glassdoor says that 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is the salary of L1 L2 support. So almost same type of stuff need to be learned for even L1 L2, like same as a administrator. Similarly, like in the US, 60k to 80k is the salary, and cloud L3 support 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs, and 60k to 120k dollars is a salary in the US. L3 is bit more technical, and you should be able to solve the problems as well. That will become more into the problem solving mode. L1 L2 is like, if the servers are down, they have to make sure that the servers are up immediately by taking the necessary action. L3 is more going into the logs and seeing what can be done in the specific incident. There will be a lot more deep dive into the technology. So this is at the high level. Hope you can understand what you have, and definitely the next question is, what should I learn? How much I need to learn, right? So for that, I have prepared one more slide here. Topics need to be prepared for that is like creating and configuring the Azure VM or EC2 or GCA. This is a minimum thing what you should understand or know, how to create and configure those type of instances. Not just only the VM or EC2. It is also about creating the various resources. I strongly suggest stick to one particular area rather than learning all the clouds. Either you try to become Azure administrator or AWS or GCP administrator. Don't try to be in all over. That will create a lot of mess and you can't. So better even within that particular cloud space. Example, you have chosen to be Azure administrator. Within that space, you understand how to create all the other type of resources like app services, SQL Azure or Azure SQL, or even Azure functions. Just creating and configuring them. You don't need to worry like what the code is deployed into that and all those things. There are DevOps, there are developers who will take it. Troubleshooting for any system related issues. If the system is down or there is a specific issues, you need to be able to troubleshoot at least at the high level. Then again, your program teams or your DevOps teams will take a monitoring tools. You should be able to monitor and see what the data is giving you. Based on the data, sometimes you may anticipate something is spiking up or something is less used or unused. Then you should be able to take the necessary action, or you can alert the respective teams. Logs. I don't say you have to read all the logs. You should at least take out the logs and share to the respective development teams. User management. This is a key area that you should learn. How to create the users, manage the users, onboarding the new users onto the system, also removing them whenever it is not really required. High level compliance. So you should understand the organizational compliance requirements. Based on that, you should provide or you should give the support based on the compliances. Optimization is another added advantage. Like you can also come up with the optimization techniques or see where the unused resources or unnecessary tiers are used for on the cloud. So you can make a plan and you can save the cost. That will be like showcasing that how much you are saving for the company. Otherwise, technical support, in case if there is any technical support during any troubleshooting of the particular incident to the development team, that is another aspect you should learn. Connecting cloud vendor teams. Example, there is any server down or some issue occurred, then you should raise a ticket and connect the particular cloud vendor like Azure or AWS or GCP with your teams so that they can talk to each other and see how the problem can be solved. So you will become a bridge here. You don't do much, but at least you have to be bridge, and you also need to show where the problem is occurring. So other one is cloud dashboard. There are Azure dashboards. I have made another video. I'll show you, and I'll post the links also in the description. Please go through that. So you should aware like how to create the dashboards, simple dashboards, and how to project them to the various development teams and DevOps teams. Any scanning tools, like there are plenty of scanning tools which can scan your entire cloud. Maybe Vizscan is one tool I know. You should also dig out the reports and share it to the respective teams. Not only that, even Azure Defender provides some kind of scanning mechanism. Similarly, the other cloud vendors also provide. So those things also you should be capable of doing it. So these are the few things you need to learn and be prepared for your interview. Apart from these, I will also show you which demonstrate what are the day-to-day activities and what are the different problems administrator face. That will really help. Let me show you few useful links. So these are the few links. Azure interview questions, which is part 8, totally admin related, and how to create the Azure dashboards. The other video is on checklist auditing and benchmarks. The other video is on administrator day-to-day activities. I'm going to post all these links in my description. Please go through that. It will be definitely helpful, and all the best for your career. Thanks for watching my videos.